The best way to use Golem is to add him in your army camp. Select 2 rages, a zap spell filled with couple of other troops to support the Golem, and then remove the Golem and fill with literally any other troop. That is the only way you can use Golem, is by not using Golem. It is very bad. This is how you can one shot a low level Balloon Lagoon. Start off with few super wizards and 2 battle rams inside the base, and once they reach this compartment, heal over them. This will also heal over the damage they receive from the bomb tower. Once the bomb tower is down, drop in 2 skeleton balance to tank, and make sure your troops are pushing inside the base. There are no small bombs in this area, so your skeleton balance should be fine, and they should tank for your super wizards. Make sure to keep your super wizards alive, as they are the main source of dealing damage. For the next wall break, use battle rams to directly open target this wall section. This is done so that the skeletons from the barrels will equally split between the top section and the bottom section. Now most of your skeleton barrels should die at this point, but it's not a big deal. Give time for your super wizards to beat through this wall, and once they have broken through this wall, immediately drop a super barbarian to tank this bomb tower. Make sure that the bomb tower does not start splashing onto your super wizards, and once that bomb tower is drawn, drop the last skeleton barrel to tank for your super wizards, and drop the last pack of rocket balloons directly on the spear thrower. It will go out ahead and take down those crusher cannon, and you can have an easy one shot on this low level Balloon Lagoon. One of the cheaper ways of taking down lower level capital halls is by using hog riders. As you can see on this base, Miglev started off by using few archers to set up his attack, and then he's using a giant to tank for the capital hall shots, and he'll start to drop his hog riders soon inside the base. Make sure that whenever you're dropping your hog riders, they are inside the race spell, and also drop them periodically so they keep on permanently stunning the capital peak. As you can see also that he had few archers surviving, so he is using them as a buffer to add even more damage to the capital peak and take it out very quickly. So yeah, hogs are a very useful troop to take out capital peaks at low level. Skeleton balls are really great in an area where there are no splash defenses. As you can see on this default layout of Wizard Valley, we see that there are no splash defenses in this area, and there are no small bombs. Well, we know that there are a giant bomb and a small bomb in this area, because we know that this is a default layout. So we try to trigger those early so that the big pack of our skeletons don't hit those traps. And once those traps are cleared, we are free to drop our more troops inside the base. As you can see that the very next splash damage on this base is this wizard tower. We will try to tank that wizard tower with our giants or hog or even a super barbarian, and try to distract it so that it does not splashes onto our skeletons. And once that wizard tower is successfully taken down, we will drop more skeleton barrels onto the base to take out these 2 inferno towers. So yeah, if there is an area with no splash damage, consider using a skeleton barrel. There are 2 default ruins on the corner of Balloon Lagoon like this, so you can take, and since there are no splash defenses covering this section, you can take advantage of this by using skeletal barrels. First, you should trigger the trap giant bomb with a ram, and then use a barbarian to clear out this hut so that it expands the deployment zone. Once the deployment zone has been expanded, you can drop 2 skeletal barrels on the rocket artillery. They will take out the rocket artillery and then start moving forward. You can occasionally support the skeletal barrel with a few wizards or something like that if you want, but they should be good without them also. And once the skeletons are heading forward, you can even send a ram forward and then drop 2 more skeleton barrels to add more DPS to the main push, since there are 2 inferno towers, and inferno towers have a lot of HP. So yeah, this is how you can take advantage of this corner section on Balloon Lagoon. Very similar to Balloon Lagoon, there are a few ruins on the barbarian camps also, which you can take advantage of, especially this one with a rocket artillery, this one with spear thrower and cannons in the front, and then this one with no air coverage. So first you can drop a skeleton barrel on this compartment to take it out completely. Since there is no splash damage, you can then drop 2 rocket balloons in the dead zone of the rocket artillery. They will head out and take down those few defenses. And once the spear throwers in this section have been taken down, you can drop a minion in this area to clear out the bomb tower and huts. Additionally, sometimes there are super giant posts inside this compartment. Your minions will also clear out these super giant posts, and sometimes there are 2 air bombs in this section, so you can drop a single barbarian to take out all of that. Archers and rages are the best way to clear out dragon cliffs. Make sure that whenever you are using archers and taking down key defenses or engaging super dragon, they are under the rage spell. It usually takes 2 packs of archers to take out a full health super dragon. As you can see in this 2 archers under a rage spell can completely take down the dragon. Rams are a great way to distract for your super archers. Rams are a great way to distract for your archers when they are doing damage, especially when they are able to. Rams are a great way to distract for your archers when they are about to run out of their stealth ability. They are also a great way of pulling dragons inside the rage spell so that your archers can take down the super dragons when inside the rage. As you can see on this base, this super dragon was not inside the rage spell, so my archers won't be doing double damage when they are shooting that super dragon. So to pull that super dragon inside the rage spell, I initially used a ram to pull that super dragon further into the rage, and once it is aggroed onto my archers, I drop in 2 pack of archers inside the rage spell so that they start damaging of that super dragon. And once the super dragon runs out of target, I drop a second ram to keep the aggro of that super dragon, and so that my archers can finish it off. As you can see, 2 packs of archers inside the rage spell were able to finish that super dragon down even if it was not inside the rage, as I used my rams to pull it. We can use a solo Inferno dragon to take down a super dragon on dragon cliffs. To do that, we need to find an isolated super dragon or find a super dragon in an area where there are not many air targeting defense. As you can see, this super dragon was isolated, so we will use a giant to pull that super dragon out of its post and then drop an Inferno dragon on top of it. As you can see, I used a giant to pull down that super dragon, and then once that super dragon is aggroed on the giant, I will drop an Inferno dragon right on top of that super dragon to take it out completely. Just make sure that the super dragon is not targeting your Inferno dragon, as in that case the Inferno dragon will lose the battle. Whenever you are starting out on Capital Peak and you want to expand the deployment area, make sure you start off by using super barbarians. The reason being that usually on some capital peaks, this starting deployment area is trapped with lock traps, super small bombs, or zap traps. So using barbarians triggers all those traps, and barbarians can survive some of those traps such as or small bombs. Also, they are very cheap. They are at 5 housing space, while archers are very costly at 15 housing space. Even if you are using archers, make sure to drop them at a spot where they all split rather than all of them going in one direction. This will make sure that one small bomb does not kill all of your archers, or one lock trap does not kill all of your archers.